In this video, we are going to go over topic 2.3, which is standard form graphing and application. So standard form is actually ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are numbers. The x-intercept will be x comma 0 because you are not going up or down any. The y-intercept, on the other hand, will be 0 comma y because you're not going left or right any. Now, students find graphing standard form a little easier than graphing slope intercept form because all I'm looking for is 2 points, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Once you find those 2 points, you are to plot them and then connect the line. So I recommend doing a T-chart. We have the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The x-intercept is right here. It says step 1, to find the x-intercept, let y equals 0. So 2x plus 4, instead of y, we're going to write 0 equals 16. The reason why we're putting that 0 in is because we're not going up or down any on the x-axis. All we're doing is the left and right movement. Now we need to find that left or right movement by solving for x. We are actually going to move 8 to the right and 0 up and down. So the x-intercept is 8 comma 0. Remember, the x-axis is your left and right axis. So find where 8 comma 0 is and put a point. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the y-intercept. For the y-intercept, it says step 2, find the y-intercept, let x equal 0. So then we have 2 parentheses 0 plus 4 times y equals 16. We're substituting 0 into the x value because we are not going left or right. All we are doing is trying to find the up and down movement. In this case, our y is going to be a positive 4 with no left or right movement. Since it's positive 4 on the y-axis, we're going to go up 4. And then we're going to connect the x-axis or the x-intercept with the y-intercept. Now, in today's class, I showed you how to check it on the calculator, so I will run through that right now. You want to hit New Document and then go to Graph. By default, it's already set up into y equals mx plus b. We don't want that. We want it in standard form. The only way the calculator will do it is if you hit number 6, which is relation. And then we have 2x plus 4y equals 16. Now, in the past, we've used the table Control-T, but since we're using the relation function, we're not allowed to do that. So the workaround, how we figure it out, we're going to be able to trace the line. We're going to find the ordered pairs. So if you go to Menu, 5, which is Trace, and then Graph Trace, notice it says 0 comma 4, and that's what I got here. I got 0 comma 4. Now, on your calculator, left and right is the movement you do all the way down to find the x-intercept, which is 8 comma 0. And notice this, we got 8 comma 0. Also notice the direction of my line. Direction of the line is that negative slope, which we don't really need to know, but it's moving to the right and down. And that's the same as my graph on the calculator. So we're going to do the exact same thing for these two problems, x-intercept and y-intercept. So we're going to have y equals 0 for the x-intercept. That goes away, and now we're to a one step. we are trying to find the left and right movement. In this case, it's going to be actually left because it's negative. So negative 5 comma 0, plot the ordered pair. I personally like to switch colors. If you have colored pencils, it's a good resource or a good strategy to use. Wherever I see an X, I'm going to go and put a 0. So then I have a one-step 5y equals 20. Divide by 5, divide by 5. We're going to get y equals 4. Remember, our x in the beginning was 0, and then I have to go up 4. So once you have those 2 points, draw your line the best you can. Now on the calculator, there's 2 different ways to do this. You can just start a new document or open another tab. And by doing that, you hit Control Doc and add a graph. The more you do this, the easier it's going to get. You can hit the backspace, and we want a relation. The equation that we had was negative 4x plus 5y equals 20. Now to trace, to double check that we were right, 5, 1. Notice my y-intercept is 0, 4, and that's what we got. Now I'm going to hit the left arrow to get to my x-intercept. And notice that the ordered pairs are changing. Those are all ordered pairs on this line. And we have negative 5, 0, which is what we have on our work. You're going to do the exact same thing for this problem. X-intercept y equals 0. Now we have a one-step 2x equals negative 18. I'm going to divide by 2. X equals negative 9. To write that as an ordered pair, it's negative 9, 0. And then for the y-intercept, we're going to do x equals 0. Because when you are on the y-intercept, you have no left and right movement. Now, number one mistake that I see here, students forget when they cross out that was really a negative 6y. Please be mindful of that, because since it's a negative 6y, we're actually dividing by negative 6. So then we get y equals 3. Your x was 0. Your y is 3. Plot a point at positive 3. And then draw your line. If you did forget the negative, then you would have gotten a negative 3. And then by checking it in the calculator, you would have realized that you were incorrect. So be careful. 2x minus 6y equals negative 18. Menu, 5, and then 1. So 0, 3. Yes, I got that. I'm going to scroll to the left again, all the way down to my x, which is negative 9, 0, which is correct. So that's my expectations for just graphing. My next expectations for this video or for this example is not only to be able to graph it, but also use the guess method to come up with the equation. So Hannah will spend $100 on music festival tickets. Reserve seat tickets cost $20, and then just general admission costs $10. So we have to write an equation. So we're going to use the first 3 steps of the guess method. So here it says she will spend $100. That's my total. That's the only amount of money she can spend. Reserved tickets cost $20. General admission tickets cost $10. Now, this is a unique situation because we have two unknowns. We don't know the reserve, how many she bought, and we don't know how many general tickets she bought. Now, the rule of thumb is usually use X and Y. I personally, if I see reserved first, I'm going to call that X. Since I saw general second, I'm going to call that Y. And we have to set it up into that AX plus BY equals C form. So how we do that, our reserved is our X, and we're talking about $20 per ticket for our X. Plus, we're talking about our general ticket, how much? It was $10 per Y, and she only has $100 to spend. Now, when we deal with real life application like what we're doing now, some of these problems, we want to really think about what's happening here. So the X finally has meaning, and the Y finally has meaning. So I'm going to put over to the side. Remember, ordered pairs are always X comma Y. But X is now the reserved tickets, and Y is now the general tickets. So these are the combinations that she can get. Now, for part B, it says solve for the x-intercept. This is saying Y is 0. It's saying that in this situation, she doesn't want any general tickets. She wants to see how many reserved tickets she can afford. So what she does, she plugs in Y for the 10, or she plugs in 0 for the Y. She's saying she's not buying any general tickets. So then we have 20x equals her budget of $100. Now that 20 is the price of a ticket. So she has x equals 5. So if she bought 0 general tickets, that means with her budget, she can afford 5 reserved tickets. That's a combination that she can have. So write that in a sentence. She can buy 5 reserved and 0 general. Now another combination that she can do, she can get the y-intercept, which when she's at Ticket Master or wherever she's buying her tickets, the y-intercept now has meaning. So for the y-intercept, x equals 0. So here's another combination. Remember, it's reserved tickets and then general tickets. Now she's trying to find the combination. Okay, if she bought 0 reserved, how many can she afford for the general seats? So let's try it out. Now, if she bought none for that kind, now her budget has 10 y equals 100. Divide by 10. She's going to be able to afford 10 general tickets. So she can buy 0 reserved and 10 general tickets. Now let's graph this situation. One combination she had was 5, 0. And then the other one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 general tickets. For right now, I'm not going to draw the arrows. We'll talk more about that later. Um, Real life situations are slightly different. But the part that I really want you guys to concentrate on is the D, using the trace feature on the calculator to state another combination of tickets Hannah can buy. This is where you have to use the tracing. So the equation that we had was 20x plus 10y equals 100. Now I understand the y-intercept is a little bit higher than what it should be. If you do the trace, it's going to bring the graph to you. So notice 0, comma 10. We got that. When we scroll down, we're going to get 5, comma 0 as well. Now, tickets. She cannot buy 0.6, comma 8.8 tickets. That doesn't make sense. You can only buy whole numbers. 0.9, 8.2 doesn't make sense. So you have to keep searching for numbers that make sense. 3, comma 4 makes sense. Let's see if there's any others. 5, comma 0. So the only other ordered pair that works is 3, comma 4. So she can buy 3 reserved tickets and 4 general tickets. So that's another combination that works. So I'm not going to go over your turn right now because we did not do that in class. But when we do your turn, I will add it to this video if needed. So for right now, thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, make sure that you email me. Thank you.